Are core values really that important? Today on the Daily Is Show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Is Show, a show not just for rental housing providers, but anybody looking to get a little bit more white space on your calendar, and particularly those folks out there who are in small business. I salute you, and this show is for you. So I'd like to get a little bit more control of your calendar, a little bit more white space, so we have businesses that serve our lives, not the other way around, not lives that serve our businesses. How awesome would that be to have complete and total control over your calendar? If you would like to have complete and oh my goodness, if you'd like to have complete and total control over your calendar, say I do. Go ahead, post on there. Say yes, I would love that, and just so I can get some feedback and hear from you guys. So, what are we talking about? Well, today's topic is. Well, let me go ahead and get the our core values. Our core values really that important? Well, let me back up for just a second in terms of why how we're going to get into this conversation a little bit. So I just came off a 2-day masterclass that I was teaching in South Jersey. Fantastic folks. I had such a blast with those guys. And before that, I was up in South Bend, Indiana. They were a lot of fun. I just had a really good, coming off a good couple sets of 2-day master classes. And fortunately, I'm going to be taking it easy for the next couple of weeks because I am beat just from traveling. But it's been really good. So one of the things, and in that masterclass, what we talk about is the vision infrastructure process method. Now, if you're new to the show, the VIP method is what I talked about in the Time Wealthy Investor 2.0, and is also going to be part of the next book coming up in terms of the Time Wealthy Advantage. I'm still working on that book, so that's going to be a little bit. So you just have to pump the brakes and just wait and be a little patient. But as I work through that, the VIP method is vision, infrastructure, and process. So what that is really quickly. Vision is specifically what it is you're trying to accomplish. What do you want? Okay. And we'll peel into that here in just a second. So what specifically is it that you want? Now with vision clear, then we put together an infrastructure and process to serve that vision. So when you have a business, when you have a vision, personal vision, right? Let's say for argument's sake that your vision is to lay on the beach in Spain for 2 months out of the year rubbing cocoa butter in your belly. That's great. Good personal vision. When you create an infrastructure, you don't want to create an infrastructure that's going to disturb that vision. Because if your vision is to lay on the beach rubbing cocoa butter in your belly and you designed an infrastructure to return phone calls and emails in a timely manner, it's going to be a terrible experience for you when you're trying to lay on the beach in Spain, right? So vision first, then infrastructure, and then process. Process is just simply how you do stuff. It's what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So you taught me this. Facebook user. Sorry, I can't see who you are right now. I'm on. What am I on here? StreamYard. So I can't tell you. But yes, I more than likely I did teach you this. So anyway, so in terms of the vision infrastructure process method, now this is broken down. Vision is broken down into two specific things, right? You've got your personal vision. Nicole at Boson. There we are. It's good to see you, Nicole. I'm glad you could join me today. So personal vision is what do you want? Like specifically, what is it you want? That's the laying on the beach rubbing cocoa butter in your belly, right? That's fine. Beyond that is business vision. Okay, so you have personal vision and then you create your business vision. Here's the interesting thing. Both are important, but you have to form them in order. You can't create a business vision before you create a personal vision. If you create a business vision before you create a personal vision, you will end up creating a life that exists to serve the business. I'm going to say that one more time. If you end up creating a business vision before you create a personal vision, you will end up creating a life that exists to serve the business, right? What we want to do is the other way around. We want a business that exists to serve us. Because as cool as it might be to have all this money coming in, if you don't have the time on your calendar to use it, all these experiences and all these things that you want to buy and whatever, you won't have the freedom on your calendar. So again, it's really important that you form that personal vision first and then business vision. So again, in terms of the personal vision and the business vision, the personal vision will ask the question of where do you want to go? right? And then the business vision is going to answer the question of how you're going to get there. So when you're forming a business vision, I want you to consider three C's. Three C's: core purpose, client avatar, and your core values. So let's go through those really quickly. Your core purpose is simply answers what business that you're in. I get this an awful lot, but I'm going to go back to my real estate brethren here for just a second. If I say, "Oh, what business are you in?" and they say, "Oh, I'm in real estate," and I go, "Oh, cool, because I could really use a mortgage." "Oh, no, 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 I'm not." That's when I. "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were in the real estate business." "Well, yeah, I am in the real estate business." "Oh, that's cool. So I can sell you one of my flip properties. Are you looking to buy a flip?" They're like, oh no, I don't do that, right? They're like, no, I'm a buy and hold investor. That's so when you said you're in the real estate business, you were really, really vague, right? So the core purpose is specifically what business that you're in, and be really brutal about what business that you're in. Starbucks is in the coffee shoveling business, right? That's what they do. Now they got some sandwiches and stuff like that, but you don't go to Starbucks for the lobster bisque. So of course they're going to start selling lobster bisque just to be different than me, or just to counter me. But what I'm saying is the core purpose is what business that you're in, and you're specific and you're obnoxious about what your business that you're in, and you're obnoxious about what business that you're not in. So when you're thinking of your core purpose, I want you to think of something. Think of how the world would be worse off if you were no longer in business, right? When you come up with a really clear example of what that is your core purpose. That's the business that you're in. Your ideal client avatar, that's the next C. So the next C is the ideal client avatar, is who the business serves. So you've got your core purpose. Next, you have your ideal client avatar. Who does the business serve? And I would invite you to try to niche down as much as you possibly can and be very specific. Try not to use the words anyone, because you might just get anyone. And I can tell you, anyone generally doesn't make a customer. Well, I mean, let me just put it this way: anyone doesn't make a good customer for, well, anyone. All right. Does that make sense? So what I'm saying to you is that you don't want to be really specific. Say, hey, anybody who's looking for, virtual assistant services. So this might be, for Nicole at Boson Solutions, right? Who that to me, she doesn't want just anyone who, right? They do a fantastic job over at Boson. They do a lot of work for me, and they do a lot of work for my clients, but they are specific in terms of who they do work for well, and almost kind of like, what, we don't really do that stuff. This is not what we do. And as a result, they've had a very, very successful business. Finally, so we talked about core purpose, client avatar. Now we're going to talk about core values. Specifically, what do you value? And at Landlord Coach, I'm going to share my screen here really quick. At Landlord Coach, I specifically value these things. These are the Landlord Coach core values: education and coaching, contribution, growth, love and kindness, accountability. These are very specific things that I value. And you notice here now, just for the sake of the slide, I didn't go into defining these really, really in depth, but education and coaching, continuous improvement and learning, contribution, seeking always to help others improve their faith, their lives, and their businesses, growth, focusing on the purpose, on the person first, and the business second. Love and kindness, that we are in a people business. By helping people, we can make our world better. And accountability, always looking for ways to measure progress. So the reason now, generally with these, and I'll get and make this point here in a little bit, but to answer the question, looking back, are they really that important? Are core values really that important? If you want me to be honest, I think they are absolutely critical. I think they are the true north for everything, especially as the company grows in size, and particularly when, not if, when you have to make a tough decision down the road as it relates to vendors, as it relates to clients, and even people that you will JV with or partner with. JV is joint venture, right? Anybody, anything like that, when you are really clear about what it is your core values are, then if they're not in alignment with your core values, the decision's easy. It might be emotionally difficult to have to act on that, but the decision's actually pretty easy. So when you have these things defined up front, it makes the decisions way easier, since your core values, like I said, act as the true north for everything that you're going to be doing subsequent to that, after that you've defined them. Think of it this way. For those of you who might have either raised children or are currently raising children out there, think of your company's core values in the same way that you teach your kids a system of morals and values. Basically, what's the right thing to do? Eventually, your kids, if you've done a good job, will leave the nest and go on to follow that system of morals and values. Think of your core values the same way. Think of them for when you start to step away from certain aspects of your business and now you have employees or assistants running more of the day-to-day operational stuff. You now have not only a compass for them to make a decisions by, i.e., is this in alignment with our core values, but you also have a yardstick to measure their performance by, i.e., is what they did in alignment with our core values. Make sense? So in short, yes, core values are absolutely critical to the long-term viability of any business. So, question is, how do you put them together? I think it's a matter of simple introspection. I don't specifically, what do you value? And I think it's really important that you get clear on what that means to you. If you value honesty and integrity, for example, you can define that in a couple of sentences, 2 or 3 sentences at the most. Then those 2 or 3 sentences then become the litmus test for you to use on performance evaluations and raises and so forth, right? So if you're doing an evaluation, you can pull out those here's your definition, here's the 3 sentences. Did they act in alignment with this sentence? Did they act in alignment with this sentence? Right? Satisfactory, needs improvement, outstanding, whatever, right? And that's the way that you do that. So there's no surprises when people are acting outside of the core values. And if there's too many that are checked off in the wrong direction, you obviously coach and counsel. And then if it's just not a good fit, it's not a good fit. And you let them go be something else somewhere else, right? I also suggest doing no more than 5 core values. As I've noticed with any of my coaching clients who are in the inner circle, when they come up with 6 or 7 or 19, they start to become very diluted and they also start to overlap one another. Personally, I think 5 is the sweet spot. Your mileage, of course, may vary. So that is all I have for today, folks. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. And really, I am looking forward to having a good weekend. I've got to work a little bit tomorrow in the morning. And then my butt is going to be on a kayak probably until I'm sunburned beyond recognition. And I cannot wait. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day. Please be sure to place a value on your free time because if you don't, someone else will. Most important, there is no amount of money that will make time irrelevant. Have an awesome day. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time.
5,